What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the obviously awesome Dr. Disaster, and I don't know if there has ever been a more troubled video game release than what we have seen with Assassin's Creed Shadows.
We are so screwed.
This is a game that was supposed to have originally been released in November, for cripe's sake, and now here we are in late February after 2 delays, and the game has now been supposedly leaked. Actual physical copies are supposedly in some player's hands somewhere, with game footage being streamed to various corners of the internet, and it's so bad that Ubisoft felt compelled to put out a message saying that actually the leaked footage does not represent the final quality of the game.
Please disperse! Nothing to see here!
This is what Ubisoft wrote. We are aware players have accessed Assassin's Creed Shadows ahead of its official release. The development team is still working on patches to prepare the experience for launch, and any footage shared online does not represent the final quality of the game. It's like, my dude, you have had 2 delays, which pushed the game 4 months beyond your original release date. There are actual physical copies of the game supposedly floating around, which will undoubtedly have patches released for it with some changes, but if this doesn't at least closely resemble what the game will look like about 3 weeks away from the release, well, this just shows off their absolute incompetence, doesn't it?
You're incapable of running this shit. Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Here's the bottom line. For anyone out there whining and trying to protect Ubisoft from criticism because the game looks like shit, if this leak is actually from a disc, then that is the gold build. That is what they shipped it out as, and if the game is as buggy and bad as some of the clips that I've seen floating around, then let's be real. Ubisoft is not dismayed that a broken version of their game has gone out for people to see. They are only dismayed that some people are finding out about it before they wasted their money purchasing it. And for all their incessant talk at Ubisoft about fixing this game, this is basically the gamer attitude toward this company by now.
Are you gonna bark all day, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite?
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit that like button on this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We have just passed another subscriber milestone, so now it is time to celebrate by asking that most glorious question.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Yo!
We are now sitting at 122,000 space pirate a-holes in this crew of ours, and as is the custom on the channel, with every 1,000 subs, I add a new ship to our fleet in order to house the newcomers. This time, one of you guys recommended the Vindicar, used by the Drej in World of Warcraft. If any of you folks have suggestions for future ships to add to the fleet, let me know in the comment section below and I will add them to my list. Super chats get bumped to the top of the list with the other super chats, and for your reference, I'm adding an alphabetical list of all the ships already in the fleet to the description of this video. But in any event, I appreciate everyone being here.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
But let's dive into this Assassin's Creed Shadows leak, which has been all over the internet for the past day. This disrupts the very carefully planned marketing strategy that Ubisoft has designed around the game's release. I have long suspected that these delays for Assassin's Creed Shadows, which pushed the game release back from November to March, have been less about fixing the game, as they said it was, and much more about coming up with a marketing plan in order to overcome all of the unforced errors, the self-inflicted damage that they have done to themselves themselves with all of the controversy that they courted in this game. In other words, they had to figure out a way to try to sell this shit-lib, fever dream rewriting of history to a culture that is largely moving on from this sort of progressive crap. One of Ubisoft's strategies was they told us just a week or so ago that players wouldn't be forced to use one character over another. You could supposedly use Naue, for example, all game and not ever be forced to use Yaski. That's what they were selling us on with this game, with a slew of articles written about the subject last week. They were very straightforward about this, but from what we are hearing about these leaks, at least in the physical copies that people have, which have not been patched, this does not appear to be the case. This post on X comes from Grums. He wrote, "One of the leaks from Assassin's Creed Shadows shows that you don't get to choose who to play in the beginning. This is very different from what they are saying now, that you can ignore playing one character entirely. Did we force a change?" And yes, I think the answer is that gamers absolutely forced a change. This backs up the rumors that we have heard that during these past few months, the delays from Ubisoft were all about minimizing Yaski in the game. I fully expect that the patched version of the game will not force that character on you. But let's look at this article here from That Park Place, which describes the physical copies that were apparently put out into the world somehow. It says, Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Shadows has suffered what could be its most devastating blow yet. Physical copies of the game have leaked nearly a month before its official release on March 20th. The leak has led to widespread spoilers, unauthorized gameplay streams, and black market sales, dealing a potentially catastrophic hit to Ubisoft's already precarious financial standing. For a company that has faced months of public backlash, development controversies, and multiple delays, this leak represents a significant disruption to Ubisoft's carefully planned release strategy. The publisher was banking on Assassin's Creed Shadows to help stabilize its incredibly rocky finances, but with this early leak, that plan may now be in jeopardy. And yes, that is the real tragedy of this whole scenario with regards to Ubisoft. This is a game that simply must sell many millions of copies for them to continue being a solvent business. Of all the games of theirs to have this happen, this was the one that it couldn't happen with. But reading on, it says, despite any security protocols, physical copies of Assassin's Creed Shadows have found their way into players' hands across the US. Users on social media and Reddit have flaunted their early access, sharing images of boxed copies, installation screens, and even live gameplay. One user uploaded a photo holding a PS5 copy of the game, while another ex-user claimed to have purchased the game via Facebook Marketplace, posting images of the box and installation process. While these posts were swiftly taken down, they were quickly archived and reshared across various platforms. Now, I have seen some footage of the supposed gameplay for this game from these leaked copies, and naturally, I'm not sharing any of it here because I don't want my video to be taken down. If you want to see it for yourself, it's definitely out there. As this That Park Place article says, there are archived Twitch streams circulating on Reddit. From what I have seen, the game looks clunky at parts, reminiscent in some ways to the launch of Star Wars Outlaws. Maybe not quite as broken as that, but definitely buggy in the sense that things like Yaski's sword carried on his back was still protruding through his helmet. Things like that are still happening, and it's just unacceptable given the delays and everything like that. But I'm going to leave it there. Leave some mockery for Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed Shadows in the comment section below, and we will have a laugh at these doofuses there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.